Parenting is the process of raising, guiding, and caring for a child from birth or adoption until they reach independence. It's not just about providing food, shelter, and safety, it's also about shaping a child's emotional, social, and moral development. Last time we talked about remarkable parents from TV shows. In this video, we'll talk about the worst parents. Before we start, I'll ask you to like and comment on this video so my channel will grow. The first ones that came to my mind while writing this scenario were Frank Gallagher and Monica Gallagher. There is no doubt this pair have failed their 6 children. And Monica was never there. She abandoned her kids and left them with a father that couldn't even help himself. The only thing she cared about was getting drunk and other not great stuff. She appeared only when she needed to, not when her kids needed a mother. She didn't even feel like one, but more like a teenager and carefree woman. On the other hand, Frank, while he was present in his kids' lives, was still a piece of something. He never truly cared about his children, fought with them and ruined them. Frank blamed everyone for his problems, but never himself. He cared only about getting drunk and finding new ways to manipulate people so he could survive another day. The second one will be Tywin Lannister, the father who cared only about the legacy of his own house, gold and power. He saw his kids as pawns that he could easily move or give away if it benefited him. Tywin criticized everything they did, the marriage and children of Cersei, the weakness of Jaime, and the very existence of Tyrion. He never showed them love or support, only cold ambition and ruthless demands. For Tywin, his children were not people with feelings or choices. They were tools to secure the Lannister name, and if they failed to serve that purpose, then in his eyes they were worthless. He could have given them away, never showed his feelings, and at least he didn't have them. No doubt on Tyrion, who wasn't as patient as his siblings. Another one is Walter White, the father who at the beginning wanted to provide for his family, but slowly turned into a man who cared more about his own pride and power. He said it was all for Skylar, Walter Jr., and Holly, but with every step deeper into his empire, it became clearer that it was never really about them. Walter lied, manipulated, and put his family in constant danger, dragging them into a world of violence they never asked for. He wanted to be remembered, to leave a name, to not feel small anymore, and for that he sacrificed the peace and safety of his wife and children. He forced Skylar to launder his money, broke her trust beyond repair, and turned her into a prisoner in her own life. He used Walter Jr. as a shield to protect his own lies, showing no shame in twisting the image of a caring father when it suited him. And Holly, just a baby, was once ripped from her mother's arms by Walter in a desperate attempt to control the one thing left in his life. Walter White may have started out as a man trying to save his family, but he ended as a man who destroyed it with his own 2 hands. Georgia Miller, extravagant, clever, and beautiful mother, but beneath all of it, she is horrible to her children. Yes, there are moments when Georgia tries to protect her children, but she is the one who puts them in danger. Ginny has to lie for her mother in court, manipulate and forcing people to lie too, and being unheard, she turned her pain inward, hurting herself. Austen grew up apart from his father, forced into a choice between his parents. No child should ever face it. And it born from Georgia's lies. Georgia calls it love, but it's control. She builds walls of secrets and chains her children inside them. Instead of saving them, she traps them in fear, leaving scars that will never heal. Another one is Dexter Morgan, the father who believed he could balance his double life and still protect his son, but in the end proved to be more of curse than a guardian. He loved Harry's son, but love alone was never enough when every part of his life was built on lies, blood, and secrets. Dexter drugged danger whenever he wanted, and no matter how hard he tries to keep Harrison safe, he always ended up exposing him for darkness. Dexter dragged danger whenever he went, and no matter how hard he tried to keep Harrison safe, he always ended up exposing him to darkness. He thought teaching Harrison to control his urges would save him, just like Harry did for him, but instead it only showed that he was willing to pass on his own curse to his son. Dexter wanted to be a good father, but his choices, the killings, the lies, the constant running, left Harrison with scars that no love could cover. In the end, Dexter was not the shield he promised to be, he was the shadow that Harrison would always have to live under. Henry VIII. Now we are talking about historical dramas. This man was horrible in life and in the show. His wife suffered because of him, and his children too. Henry abandoned his two daughters, made them feel less interesting and unlovable, left a mark in their mental health and even physical health. This king even locked up his son and left a broken religious country to a 10-year-old Edward. Henry forgot about his bastard son Henry Fitzroy, didn't attend his funeral and wanted to use him only as a weapon, as he did with Mary. His throne was built on the tears of his wives and the silence of his children, who learned that affection from him was dangerous and approval impossible. And when death finally took him, he left his children in a split country and with traumas that he inflicted. So in the end, we understand that parenting is definitely not about hurting children, manipulating, mistreating, or abandoning them. It's about being a good parent who can truly understand them, guide them through their struggles, and help release their full potential. Parenting means offering patience, love, and support, even when times are difficult. It's about creating a safe space where children feel valued, respected, and encouraged to grow into the best version of themselves. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and comment on this video. I'd like to read your thoughts about parenthood and which parent should be added to this list. Anyway, see you next week, guys. Bye.